Yo, 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 it's Josh, and right now you locked in with the Success Game Podcast. One thing for certain, two things for sure. We're going to give you some game that's going to help you grow. Watch this.
What's going on, guys? It's Josh. We back with another one. This time we got a real nice and he's got so much hype around him already from the people who really know football. They can see that this young guy is going to be special one day. And I took the liberty on my own and watched some of his highlights. And I mean, it's crazy when you think about his youth. But I'll just leave that there, and I'll introduce us to our next guest, Josh Moody from Nitro High School.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming, bro. Thank you for coming. So, tell me, and just a little, backstory. You spent last year in Buffalo, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So at Buffalo, the man goes for 2,038 yards passing and 24 total TDs altogether. But that's immaculate for a sophomore season. And when you watch the highlights, it's not a huge highlight tape, but I promise you, the people who know football, they can see it. They can see it already, and these numbers ain't lying. He's just a sophomore. So we'll start it like that. But what high school were you attending last year, like you say?
I went to Buffalo High School.
Okay. So talk about what that was like. Was it what division is that, my fault?
It's single A. It's
Okay.
a really small school.
Yeah.
We have about 340 kids in the whole school. Football team's kind of small.
Yeah. What is that? Just where you growing up? That's where you grew up, or
Yeah.
okay?
That's where I grew up at. I grew up with all those kids. They were my best friends.
Yeah.
Just grew up there.
So it's always nice playing, for the hometown. You know what I mean, for the hometown crowd. But now you've switched over and you went to Nitro. Talk about that. Is it hard getting comfortable again, or have they made it pretty easy on you over there?
They made it pretty easy on me. It wasn't really a hard transition,
Yeah.
although it's a big difference.
Yeah.
The atmosphere is completely different, but I like it.
Yeah.
There's a lot more kids, but the kids are more serious about football, which is what's important to me.
Right.
So it made the switch easy.
Exactly. And I tell you too, Nitro, that's my home for real. So we really needed somebody like you. There's not been too many big time names come through there at all. It's really been hit or miss talent the last few years. Also, the winning has been scattered out. No doubt. I think you're too big for the stage. Like, I think you'll definitely deliver. Nitro might got him one this year. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie to y'all. From what I've seen, you just don't see kids that young, or just it's the it factor. I was telling my videographer Brad, he got the it factor. Some of the angles you're throwing at and stuff. People can. There's great high school quarterbacks, but when you can do the stuff that you can do naturally already, that's big time. You hear me? I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not trying to pump gas in you or nothing, bro. That's pretty big what you can already do. So and tell me, was there ups and downs in this last sophomore season, or really was it just a high for you right there?
There were for sure ups and downs.
Yeah.
Being young, I was 15
Yeah.
for most of the season,
Wow.
so you're obviously going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
And that came early for me. But as we got deeper into the season, the mistakes came to a minimum, and it started turning around a little bit. But there was for sure some ups and downs.
Yeah. Now, are you? I don't never want to ask anybody, are they big on winning? But are you one of the type of people like like type A would be like a Michael Jordan, where you can really hold on to a loss for a minute, or are you kind of like a newer day athlete where it's like you be more realistic, like I can only do what I can do with my team, or were you expecting big things regardless who was on Buffalo?
I wanted to win.
Yeah.
It was tough,
Yeah.
but you can't hold on to the losses and
Exactly.
get stuck on them. You got to move on to the next game, especially playing quarterback. You can't hold on to things like
Exactly.
that. You got to move forward.
Yeah, that's beautiful to hear you say. Yeah. But yeah, so when you're in these games and stuff, I think I talked to you earlier. When you're in these games and you see the rush coming, what's your mentality? Why are you still delivering the ball? A lot of high school quarterbacks, especially as young as you are, they're stage fright for one. They're fighting to really know the playbook for two, and then for three, you got full size athletes coming at you. You know what I mean? And I seen you deliver the ball a few times and take the hit after, which like I said, we'll grow and learn, and you can definitely that's the next probably progression in your game, getting out that way of the rush, delivering that ball. But like I say, the heart in that, and that's why the guys get paid the big bucks. But talk about your mentality with that.
My mentality is just, it's my job to get the ball delivered to my guys. So, they're sacrificing their bodies catching the ball for me, so I'm going to sacrifice my body getting the ball to them because that's my main job. and I don't really, I'm cool with taking the hit for my team.
Yeah. Oh, that's big time. You can hear the leader in him already, the dog in him, and that's another thing that you got to be conscious of too, Josh, is that you're leading the right way because the young people, they're gonna start to, like I'm telling you now. I just seen that sophomore. I don't need to see anymore. I know what you're capable of, but you're gonna have a lot of people hop in here in the next 2 years and be like, Josh Moody for president. You know what I mean? Basically, they're gonna be singing your praises, man. But it's like he's been like that. You know what I mean? He just might not. He might have been in the one little small corner of West Virginia. But I think with the opportunity to expand your brand and the more exposure you're gonna get, even though Nitro isn't a huge school, it definitely is a step up. And I say that to say when you get to Nitro, they need to know day one when they step in that huddle, we leading. I'm leading. You know what I mean? And I'm ready to go out on my shield every time for you guys. You know what I mean? When you lock in like that, Josh, you'd be surprised the receivers you'll make just because they can see it in your eyes. Like he's not going down without a fight. Tom Brady for a long time has had so many people play outside of their potential for real. Just his, just the belief he puts in them allows them to play above their talent level in actuality. You know what I mean? They may not be that good, but he got them playing, So with that, I'll go here with it. What camps have you already been invited to? Talk about the people who's already kind of seen you.
I've gotten a ton of camp invites. Mm-hmm. My most recent one, the Florida's quarterback coach reached out to me yesterday and invited me to camp and to come visit. Wow. And their offensive coordinator followed me. Their tight ends coach followed me. West Virginia came by Nitro, I think it was Monday, and talked to me. Yeah. Some smaller schools, Marshall, Coastal Carolina, schools like that. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of schools have reached out to me to come to camp. But I've got my schedule pretty much laid out.
Yeah. And so I'll tell you this too, with all these big time schools coming, I'll tell you like I told Wayne too, make sure you're paying attention to the small ones and always be cerebral in that process. Think about the coach, think about the wide receivers, think about the competition. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just the wrong year to go to a Georgia or Alabama or O State. It's just the wrong year because they don't got the whole class. You know what I mean? Right. But all them teams pretty much they stack. They bad examples. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes you'll get in the off time. And I think you'll excel anywhere you go. But like I say, you need to go where it feels comfortable. I really think your highest potential is. I hope these coaches over here at Nitro use you the right way. I really love to see you in the spread for sure. The spread where you can take advantage of your arm talent because let's say you run trips left and you got doubles wide. You send one of the doubles in motion and you got that man singled up. There's no doubt in my mind that there's a cornerback that's going. You know what I mean?
We worked on some stuff like that today.
Yeah. If you got that chemistry with him, like your arm is good enough to beat most cornerbacks in West Virginia. You'll have different levels to go to, but like that's what these camps are for. These camps are going to get you somewhat exposed to different calibers. Right. But just here I don't see. You know what I mean? It's money every time. Not only that, if they get you in a play action. I seen you on one of them, just like I said, the highlight video. I can't stress it enough, and I'm sorry, Josh, if I'm being annoying saying, but in that it's like a minute long. But one of the plays, I seen you rolling out to your offside. You got your right arm back, and you absolutely throw a dime to like the front corner of the end zone. I'm like, what?
That was the first game of the season.
Stop it, man. And it was on an absolute string, a laser. And I'm like, you do not see kids this young that, first of all, the arm motion, it wasn't stiff. You're not stiff at all, bro. And that's what a lot of kids they suffer from in your shoes because like I said, it's a lot of pressure on a high school quarterback. You got all your peers looking at you. You got to remember the plays and stuff. So people are more so going to go with what they can do repeatedly. But what I seen from you easily is that you'll have them plays and you're like, damn, it's only like 10 people in the country that can do that. You know what I mean? Honestly, I would definitely look out into the college scene and see where you got some deep threats at. I feel like you're one of them ones that if you can evade the pressure for 3-4 seconds, just like Patrick Mahomes, you're going to pay every time. You can feel it sometimes. Like we left him. He's not down yet. He hasn't been sacked yet. It's a touchdown. Like you got to get him down or make sure you got these wide receivers locked up. Talk about some of the parts of your game that you still look to expand on. Because like I said, you're still young. You got everything in front of you for sure.
I definitely want to use my legs a little bit more, get outside the pocket, and I've talked to my OC, and we're definitely going to do some of that this year. Use my legs a little bit more. I feel like that'll really impressed the college coaches, showing them that I can run too. And just tying my feet to my upper body, I feel like that's going to take my game to the next level. I've talked to multiple college coaches, and they said, once you tie your feet to your upper body, you can go anywhere you want to.
Right. That's extraordinary that he even say that. Like he say, I've watched. I'm a Cleveland Browns fan. This is another reason why I can put so much respect on a quarterback who can actually play quarterback's name. I've watched 20 or 30 in the last, you know what I mean? I've been a fan for probably maybe like 16, 17 years now, the Browns. Excuse me. But you know how many just absolute duds I've seen come through there? When I look at certain things that's already been done, I'm like, he's got so much potential, but if he can marry his feet with his upper body, that's going to be even more beautiful. I do nothing but watch quarterback coaches on Instagram. You look at half the people I follow, they just run drills and stuff. But a lot of them talk about that. They talk about the rotation. Don't swing your front arm all the way open. You know what I mean? But this is stuff I can tell you knew already. I watched, you know what I mean? Just off of that, I'm like, he's legit. They don't know all that about quarterback. We're giving them a quarterback 101 for sure right now. But they don't realize how really integral and detailed the position is.
It's so technical.
Please, man.
You have to be a technician.
Yeah, for sure. And like I say, it's easy to be a quarterback who matriculates the ball down the field, dip and dunk here, dip and dunk there. That's where the game's getting away from it. At the end of the day, don't forget, Josh, this is entertainment. So when somebody's telling you like, we just really want to, depending on the game plan, we never want to go against coach, but it does good to just conceal what you really have. You know what I mean? And sometimes we might throw a pick or two. Like you say, there's ups and there's downs, but you got to stay true to your game. It's that special. You don't never got to stray away from that. You put in enough work to be right there. You know what I mean? I don't ever want to see you start playing more robotic or, you know what I mean? That's not what you do. And it's going to take away from your specialness. You know what I mean? So always keep that in mind. So I want to ask you too, at these camps, what are you hoping? Are you feeling like it's good just to be out there and be seen, or you hoping to come away with offers? Like, you know what I mean?
Definitely both.
Right.
The offer is the goal, but just to pick as much as you can from these coaches, because they're there for a reason.
Right.
Like most of them, they know a lot. Yeah. So just to take one thing from every coach, and by the end of camp season, to be the best I can be, and at the end of the day, we hope the result is an offer, but just to learn as much as I can and be seen.
Most certainly, a little bit of both. I'll be bad about that because listen, I try to do hot and cold and give guests either or, but it's both of them always sound good. I asked Wayne, you want a Heisman or a BCS title, and he like both. Like you said, I want both. You know what I mean? I want my offer and I want my attention right there. And tell the young watchers and young viewers, how has it been marketing yourself as far as, early interest you're getting from these schools? What are you doing to even attract them? You know what I mean? I mean, besides your play, I should say. What avenues are you taking to get yourself out there?
Really just put myself out there on Twitter. For any of the young athletes watching, make a Twitter account. That's where most of my exposures came from. Mm-hmm. My high school coaches at my old school, they didn't really do too much for me. So it was mostly me by myself on Twitter, just following coaches, posting workout videos, posting my highlights, DMing coaches, and it was stuff like that got me out there for sure. Bless
his heart. He's so determined, man, and this is why I think this is gonna go a little bit of time, and it'll be a legendary interview. Not to say Josh in it first, but hey, you see he's here. I ain't playing. I thought I'm gonna bring y'all who I think is the best every time, the best I can get, the best available, and I'll go ahead and put that tag to him. There's a lot of good quarterbacks in West Virginia, but when these scouts get to breaking down, they'll see the cream rises to the top. You know what I mean? You don't see kids playing like this. I'm from Ohio. I haven't seen too many kids. I watched Braxton Miller play in high school. You're past that. You see what I'm saying? Of course, he's a alien with his footwork or with his escapability and all that. But as far as throwing, I done watched some of the best quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Throw the ball and stuff. Nobody's throwing it like that at 14, 15, or 15, 16 years old. Are you kidding me? So talk about that. Like you say, the coaches wasn't helping. Listen to that part of what he said. The coaches, and that's not to never badmouth them. We appreciate them because they're all a part of the process. But sometimes we got to go where there's a little help. He can do so well by his own, and his play, it'll speak for itself, I have no doubt. But him taking this initiative is going to have his plate way and his options way bigger. You know what I mean? He can almost go through like it's a buffet. Pick which, who I want to visit. That's what it's going to get to for you pretty soon, because you're being so diligent about the work. You know what I mean? Like I told you, you're a grown man when you hit me, and then you go take the steps to make a Twitter, and like you say, it's brought so much attention that way. Also, I wanted to, like we say, it wasn't all the way completed, but tell them about that 24/7 profile that you got.
Yeah, so I got that after I visited West Virginia in January. It's not completely updated.
Right.
It just has West Virginia, but I've visited a lot of schools since then.
And it's going to get there. But I just wanted him to tell you guys, because that's something that a lot of people don't realize is going to be a huge type of what would you call that? A connecting piece to him in these colleges, these top tier colleges. They're not just going to look at anybody. So what you do, especially when you're coming from a spot like West Virginia, so what you want to do is, make one of these accounts that makes it easy. A lot of these college coaches and assistant coaches are already in that portal. They're not necessarily going to YouTube every time, but you can bet that they're doing their due diligence on these websites like this. That's why they give him one, and all blessings be to them for that. Also talk about, because I don't know if you knew this, but somebody kind of keyed in or told me about it a few days ago. They were telling me that maybe, and I say no names, but there was a top tier talent around here, and at his respective position, he might have been the second in the state. Now, the dude who was first in the state and the dude who was third in the state, they both go D1, and it's pretty nice D1s. You know what I mean? Like I said no names, but they're pretty nice D1s. The second man, the brother explained to me that the second man was probably had more upside than maybe both of them. He had definitely better size than them too, you know what I mean? But he said what had happened was they were just naive, not ignorant, not stupid, not dumb, just naive, and didn't know that there was an NCAA portal that you had to be, kind of in with, or, I still don't know how it works specifically, but stuff like this holds us back and we don't even know it. You know what I mean? That's the reason he doesn't have no D1 offers, not because he didn't look the part or anything. He did everything he needed to do, but he just missed that piece, that major piece that lets everybody know you're to be you're to be chose. You know what I mean? I can come talk to you if I want to. You know what I mean? Are you hip to that?
I'm pretty sure it's an NCAA ID.
Okay, you need an NCAA ID. That's exactly what it is. Thank you, brother, for clarifying that. But yeah, I don't think a lot of parents or students recognize that,
I feel like that's what the state lacks, is we're so behind on everything. It hurts us. Like, we have the talent.
Yeah.
We just have to follow along with everybody else and get with the new
take
world.
The signs. Yeah, it's all over. Like I said, and that's what's special about you in a place like this, Josh. Just like I know, not too many kids, not that they don't care, but they're just going and training like a dog and doing all this stuff. But in the reality, by the time you get to senior year, you got nobody really looking at you. They're not necessarily really, the options that they do have, they're not hot about, and I tell kids this all the time: stop worrying about where you come in at. It's about where you finish. It's about where you finish. Just like I told you, you're kind of reminiscent of them. Of course, I don't expect you to, go there or anything, but it wouldn't be off, to the left if you did. But them small schools like Wyoming and North Dakota State, Josh Allen was the number 2 overall pick. Trey Lance was the number 3. Carson Wentz was number 2. See what I'm saying? And them are all small majors. But they was able to showcase what they could do right there. You know what I mean? Maybe they didn't have all the success, but them smaller schools can put you on. That's what people don't understand. It's not where you're going or how you get there. It's where you're going. You know what I mean? It's the automobile in which we use. So when you that's what I kept getting away from it. So when you transferred to Nitro, did you notice that the coaching was like not better, but you liked it, that their style a little bit better? You know what I mean?
Yeah, they were a little bit more my style.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely it was different because at my old school we worked out twice a week, which is not enough.
No.
So I was going from 2 days to 4 days, and on Fridays I was working out with the guys, throwing, getting chemistry down.
Yeah.
So that was probably the biggest adjustment, like just seeing the coaches actually put in effort and be there with you 4 days a week rather than 2 days a week.
Yeah, man, that's good. And so, what is your training regimens like? What do you do independently? You know, because I always tell the young, that's what's gonna make you the best. Is what you're doing when nobody's looking. You know what I mean? You can do it all day at practice, but everybody's at practice with you, Josh. You know what I mean? They're all getting just as good as you. What are you gonna do that's gonna separate you? You know?
So I do footwork some days. You know, whenever we're not working out or after I work out. I try to throw not every day, but I try to throw a lot, get a lot of reps in, so my arm doesn't go dry. I throw a lot, footwork.
Tell me the days of the week, the cycle. Like, are you if you're practicing with Nitro such and such? What are you doing? How many days are you going independently?
So we go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
I do stuff Fridays, Saturdays. I don't really do stuff on Sundays.
Okay, take your Sundays off. But yeah, like you said, they're taking it a little bit more serious over there. Not even a little bit. They're taking it more serious over there. You know what I mean? And that's all we want. That's all we want. We want to make sure that we're not being, like I say last episode, we don't want to be misused. You know, y'all love for, you know, Josh Moody to be at this school or that school. I'm going to sell tickets. I'm going to make my school a little bit, you know, a little bit of revenue, no doubt. But y'all going to help me back. You know what I mean? Y'all going to put me in positions to be successful, get seen. You know, that's what it's about at the end of the day. Can we help each other, you know, even at this level in high school? Because you're not it's not like you're one of the only ones to ever transfer. This is becoming the normal. You know what I mean? And here, you know, and I'll tell West Virginia coaches, as somebody, I just coach a little B team, but I'm hoping to work my way up the ranks. But they're not, a lot of coaches aren't teaching it the game the right way. And I'll say it, I'm not even going to go into X and O's. I'll just say a lot of them are there to go undefeated for one season. Or they're there to get a certain state record. Or they're there just because they like how it makes them feel to be, you know, in control of something. Which you hardly hear any of them say is because I want Josh Moody to go D1 wherever the heck he want to go. I want Jim Bob to go wherever he want. My lineman over here, I want him to go wherever he want. You know what I mean? And shouts out to Darnell Wright. Darnell Wright, man, coming out of here, that 10th overall pick, man. I couldn't conceive that he came from here for real because I'm like, lineman out of West Virginia. You see what I'm saying, Josh? Like, you know, I hope you get your line and everything to play because, like I say, people like you can cause people to play above themselves. You know what I mean? Just off of their personal tie to you, who you're being genuinely around. They're like, I'm not gonna let Josh take no hit. You know what I mean? So, but for him to come out of here, I say, it almost shocked me, and I've stepped over it on a few episodes. But when you don't have no linemen, you don't expect to get quarterbacks like you. Like I said, you're a soldier. You're a warrior for standing in there sometimes. And that's, like I say, never no shots at nobody because the coaches don't emphasize linemen. They don't, you know what I mean? I'm not going, I'm not asking you at any level. I'm not asking you to be specific, but you could tell me at least probably one time at any level, you probably sitting there and maybe the best coach is stuck in your hip pocket and you're like, bro, you could be doing this, or that. You know what I mean? Why are you? I got it. You know what I mean? Or at least I got it for my age and my grade. You know, I think I know enough. But this ain't right or that ain't right. You know what I mean? So it's like we got to, as coaches in West Virginia, we got to start coaching the whole team and making sure that we're doing it with them in mind and their vision and their hopes. You know, we know every kid ain't going to D1s or maybe even D2s, D3s. But what can be learned in football is always camaraderie and brotherhood. That's first thing. And love. Football make you feel that more than any other sport. And that's always been the best thing about the sport. It's one of those where it takes everybody depending on everybody. You can't do your job unless the line do their job. Wide receiver can't do his job unless you can do your job. You know what I mean? It's so, dependent upon the last, domino falling. And with that being said, I hope this situation presents that for you in a lot of different ways. I wouldn't say Nitro's the most talented. Oh yeah, that brings me to something. So talk about you ain't gonna say no names, but about how many kids are ready to transfer because they seen Josh Moody was over there now.
We've got a couple guys that have came already.
Yeah.
I think we're done.
Yeah, but you got a few. Yeah.
Yeah, we got a few and they're studs.
Yeah.
We got a couple wideouts.
Yeah.
They're already impressing me. It's crazy.
But see, we feel the love in Nitro. Yeah, we feel the love there, man.
The energy is so up from where it was when I got there. Like you can tell the kids are excited about it.
You can feel it.
The people that played there last year, they're like, man, it feels so different now than it did last May.
Yeah.
Like even the coaches, they're like, we're so much farther along.
Trying to tell you, that's that Josh Moody effect. He got the whole town waking up. You hear me? He about to have people's great grandparents coming in Nitro stands next year. You hear me? Just to see, be a witness to it. Because like I say, people like you and Wayne, y'all ain't coming through here enough. So we gotta hold on when we get to see it. Y'all are shooting stars, and y'all still on y'all's way up. This is just the ascending. You know what I mean? You won't be descending for at least 15, 16 years now. All you got to do is focus on keep going up. You know what I mean? That's all it is. Because you guys are, what I've been able to, meet you guys. I read people very easy. And I can tell when people are faking the funk or they're genuinely just good people, you know what I mean? And I haven't got one guest on here yet that I was like, maybe he wasn't, and of course I probably wouldn't attack that person if, just future out. I wouldn't come out. But everybody that I've been able to get on here, especially you and Wayne, it's so easy when you're young to be kind of ignorant and you could be really you don't got to be as positive as you are, or at least as you seem, you know what I mean? Neither of y'all. And with you, I'm like, he don't understand what you about to do for Nitro. Nitro people are crazy about football. But what happens is, Josh, like I said, I coached B team last year. They about 5, 6 people in the stands, you know what I mean? So I never got offended, but the visitor stands was always way more packed. And I wonder why that was, and I wonder what the results is. Well, you're seeing them. Like I say, with you come around, you bring hope. But not only that, they just want the opportunity to win, because the high school will be packed. But the reason why they're not getting the product at the high school, why they're not getting the wins or the championship success, is because y'all not supporting them while they're young. You know what I mean? They don't feel loved enough while they're young. It's almost culture shock when they run out on that high school field like, what? There's Nitro, you know what I mean? Because I know the kids don't get a lot of it. And then I'm in the AJ district, if you've heard of AJ yet. Little middle school or whatever. But even those are kind of great atmospheres. But you have a lot of kids that are linemen, or they're not skill positions, that fall off in these ACB, D teams. They fall off in that phase because there's no, you know what I mean? There's no fanfare. It's not fun for real,
That's what I look forward to doing, is like taking pride in the youth and making them excited about Nitro football, because I think it's been 15 years since they've had a winning record. Mm-hmm. And I definitely feel like we're gonna get that this year, and I feel like it'll bring the community back up, and the stands will be packed out.
Right. Oh yeah, they will be. And don't say yourself, Josh, I don't see nobody in y'all's way. Like I said, they done revamped y'all at wide receiver. The most they can hope for is something. Y'all might have some line issues sometimes, because like I say, with you working on your feet, like you said, marrying your feet with your shoulders and your release and all that, when you do that, like I say, they're gonna be salty. Like, man, we had the perfect rush. We chased him. He held the ball for 3 or 4 seconds. But it sucks when you can stop somebody that good and they throw the ball 50 yards down the field. And it's like, dog, what else can we do? You know what I mean? You almost get frustrated with it, as a defense. It's just like a running back who on 3rd and 10, he just runs for a first down, and you like, as a defense, you're depleted. Like, bro, are you kidding me? We get him to 3rd down and he rushes for 10 yards to get the first. You know what I mean?
You feel hopeless at that point.
Exactly. It takes the air right out the cell, man. So, but yeah, man, I really look forward to everything, that you got coming, brother. I'm not going to hold you a long time. Like I say, I just definitely wanted to get you in here and let these kids know that you're somebody to be looked up to. You got a good aura about yourself, a good energy, and it's real natural. You know what I mean? Like I say, they gonna love you, Josh, just because you be yourself. You know what I mean? I'll tell you this too. A few of my little Dunkin' Donuts ladies or whatever, they go to Nitro High School with you, and they're like, oh yeah. I said, do y'all know Josh Moody yet? Oh yeah, and they're like, oh yeah, Josh Moody, because some of them like, oh yeah, he's big time, man. They're like, listen, I ain't gonna lie to you, it's coming. But I could see just that they smile. Yeah, they smile.
I try to stay low key in the hallway.
Right. Just be cool. Get to class.
Act like a normal kid.
Yeah. Yes, sir. But yeah, brother. Like I said, I ain't gonna hold you up too much longer. Anything that you want to say in specific, any messages you want to get out,
I just want to thank you for bringing me on here. It means a lot.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, listen, and I appreciate you, Josh, because like I say, as a young dude, He don't got to sit down and even be open to the idea of, what I need. You thinking like I got these camps coming up. That was another thing. Had to get you in here because this summer's full of camps. You know what I mean? Full. He keeping himself busy, and the inspiration gonna come every time you see a new school. You're like, dang.
That's how it was last night when the Florida coach texted me. I was like, I'm finally starting to realize like the hype around me, because I try to block it out, stay as humble as I can. But when people are in my ear, like the hype is real, I'm like finally starting to like notice it. And
exactly. Yeah. Because like I say, it's hard being from here, especially. I can't name you too many surefire quarterbacks that I've even known to come out of here. I know a lot that's played at West V or Marshall, so that's that was great. But to be homeborn and raised, man, you're doing something that's really we haven't seen either in a minute or at all. And you're lined up for everything. Like you say, just continue to remain humble. If you can do that for me, remain humble, remain hungry, because the biggest thing is not that because the offer is gonna keep coming regardless, Josh. Just pay attention. They're gonna keep coming regardless. You ain't gotta believe me. I'm letting you know. I study this quarterback stuff too much because I'm a suffering Cleveland Browns fan for like years 16, 17. So I know them all. That's just like I see how, at times I've been able to evaluate Baker Mayfield's, and sometimes he be doing sorry stuff. But Baker Mayfield, somebody like him, his ceiling is so high, and he can absolutely rocket the ball. But his floor, Josh, protect your floor too. Whatever I do, you can't get me to throw 4 interceptions in the game. Right. Protect your floor. Make sure you got a floor, and I won't go past this. You know what I mean? Because that's the only thing that's got that man fighting for a job. His ceiling is there. I almost wanted to cry when we beat the Steelers. You hear me? I was in tears. We beat them down too, 28-0 in the first quarter, and it just kept going on, But when you can get that floor somewhere, because how you gonna come from, beating the socks off the Steelers and almost challenging? We almost beat the Chiefs that year too. To I'm watching a Thursday night, and this man Lamar Jackson throws 4 interceptions in one game. Lamar Jackson did this. Honestly, unseen. You never seen Lamar act like this. You would think he would run it, if anything, by the second one. He threw 4 interceptions, Josh, and we still couldn't win that game. I said, man, Baker, what did we, 2 of them go past the 50. All you got to do is get us in field goal range. But when your floor is too low, that's what happens. This is how you bounce around. You know what I mean? Keep that floor high. Know what you won't go for. You know what I mean? And like I say, keep your heart pure, bro. Because right now, who I see is a driven young dude. Like I say, and I was so honored, and it made me feel so good to see you reach out to me. Like, dang, that showed me already that the young dudes is looking at me and they can see what I'm doing, and I'm trying to help y'all. I want this to help me like it helps you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we really appreciate you putting us on the map.
Exactly. And that's all I can do, because it's not enough of this here. It's not none
Definitely
of it.
Definitely
not. I love, there's no reason why the Waynes can't get up here, the Joshes can't get up here. Like I say, I always want to make sure we're being productive, never wasting time. But, when I get you guys up here, it shows the youth not only that they can do it, and they see how much promise you got early. I'm not just bringing anybody on here. I see the promise now. I'm letting you guys know it's not going to be a news flash when he commits somewhere nice or goes somewhere big, or even when he gets to this NFL journey. Is that how far you want to take it, bro?
I would like to, yeah.
Hall of Fame, where we're trying to end, you know what I mean, with a few rings, But, when we look back, and I'll be able to say, man, I really got Josh Moody at 16, raw, uncut, just giving us what goes into, getting to this type of platform, But, like I said, I ain't going to talk your head off, but thank you much, 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 Josh. This is huge because, like I say, now we're putting you on the map, and I hope I hope the kids are able to see this is probably who you're going to be looking to if you want to hear about number 1 prospect, the quarterback out the state. It's this guy right here. You know what I mean? So I'm happy to introduce him to anybody who don't know. You gonna know. You know what I mean? But yeah, brother, thank you.
Appreciate you for having me.
Yes, sir. And watch this, guys.